Hello again. Thanks for tuning in. It's lovely that you taking the time to do that. Thank you. Welcome to this week's vlog. So this week's vlog, I'm still in Yorkshire. I'm still with Gary, who's over that way somewhere. I split last week's vlog and this week's vlog into two because I thought that'd be too long. And today we're at the Ribble Viaduct, which in itself I've always found a bit kind of, why do people photograph that for unless you've got some really dramatic lighting over it? But Gary has shown me this limestone pavement, which, as you know from last week, I really love these grikes and grints, and these are some serious leg breakers. I mean, some of these gaps here are about sort of 2 or 3 meters down, so I'm going to be very careful. Got the camera slightly higher today because what I'm trying to do is get a leading line across the limestone pavement to the Ribble Viaduct, and we're very lucky. I don't normally like shooting this time of day, but we've got some real good stormy clouds up ahead. It's supposed to be a thunderstorm, so I hope I don't get wet, but in a way, but I also hope that we get the clouds first because it will be quite dramatic. So it should be a monochrome shot, this one, I think. That's kind of in my head, so I'm going to turn the screen on the Z2, on the Z7 to monochrome, just so I can picture that and visualize it. Not easy to see the viaduct from this position with an ultra wide angle lens on, but I know it will be there in the print, so I'm kind of a little bit of guesswork. If I zoom in I can see it, but zooming out I can't see it so well, but just gonna wait for the clouds to play ball and then we'll shoot this. It's done a really quiet day. Yorkshire's so quiet, I can't believe it. Lovely. By the way, once this is done, I think we're going to go to, well, I can't remember where we're going to, but we're going to go to more limestone pavement tonight for sunset. It's been a full-on day, full-on 2 vlogs, which I hope you've enjoyed. Right, let's shoot this then. I'll talk you through the settings. So actually, the settings are going to be f13, 64 ISO, and whatever the shutter speed is, probably somewhere around a 25th or 15th of a second. I think something like that, to me, looks about right. This is one of those shots that's going to look really good with the sky darkened right down later on in Lightroom, so you can see this being really good. Right, if I don't fall over, let's shoot this. So it perched rather precariously on top of these 2 bits of limestone, but this works a bit better. I'm closer in, so the viaduct is more prominent, so it's easier to see what we're looking at. So the reason I've chosen this area is because of this boulder here, which is just a really interesting angle, and then just in front of it we've got this kind of heather, I think that is, these little pink flowers, which make a really nice foreground leading on to the viaduct. Ideally I'd like to go a bit closer, but it's really precarious down here. I might try it in a second, but for now let's just shoot this, and then we'll see if we can move a bit closer. Good, that works okay. The clouds have gone a bit fluffy, but that's not too bad. So I'm just going to tip the camera down a little bit to get more of the interest down the bottom here. So f13 at 60th. Clouds are looking all right. Just give it another minute or so and they should be across there. I mean, the clouds are such that they are, some dark ones, and the light ones are really big and enormous, like an East Anglian sky. There's a pathway as well that walks underneath the viaduct, which is where all the tourists go. Looks like Gary's got his drone out, if you can hear it, doing some B-roll. I'll be going to get that in the picture. I'll have to clone it out. Right, so here come the clouds. There we go. I'll put this on the screen so you can have a look at now. Time to move on, I think. So it's now late afternoon, early evening. We've got another hour and a half to sunset, but look at the clouds, look at the landscape. Isn't it gorgeous? This is Winskill Stones in the Yorkshire Dales. Some more limestone pavements. We're going to photograph Graham's tree, or Gator's tree, which is what this vlog's going to be called. And I'll tell you the story about Graham, but he was a very good friend of Gary's, my friend here, and he's told me the story and it's quite emotional. So Graham's ashes are scattered just over there under the tree, so that's why it's called Graham's tree, or Gator's tree, because that was his nickname. And from here you can see all three of the high peaks in Yorkshire. But this is just, I mean, the sky has been amazing already. I mean, I don't know whether we're going to get any better than this. It's we've had God rays and everything, and I'll put the pictures up because I've been shooting like fury before I put the vlogging camera up, because the pictures come first. But we just passed a sign that says cows, calves and bulls in the field, which is always nice. And there is definitely some livestock here. There's definitely some calves, there's definitely some cows. Can't see the bull, but I think we're going to be fine. They don't like this limestone, you see. It's not really good for their hooves, so we should be safe. But it's just a fantastic place. I mean, you've got Ingleborough Mountain in the distance there. You can see that this morning where we were from last week's vlog in Malham, by the lone tree at Malham. And we've got Pen-y-ghent over here to my right, which you can't see, I don't think. But all three of the peaks. But the light is just kicking off. So, you know, I said I wanted some decent pictures. Haven't felt like I've done many this year. But I think tonight we could be in luck, because this is already looking fantastic. We've got these yellow flowers. Not sure what they are. I'll try and find out and put it on the screen for you. But they look wonderful. It's definitely a colour shot, definitely. And the cows actually are adding to a lovely bit of mid-ground. So it's just a wonderful scene. I've taken 2 or 3, which I'm really pleased with. So. So we've got an hour to go until sunset, but I really hope these clouds hang about, and it looks awesome on the horizon. Let me show you this lovely white house, lovely brown cows, the green grass in the summer. And this is weather you don't get in the summer very often. It's normally just blue and white clouds and sunset. It's not normally that good, but it feels, I mean, I'm wearing a coat and a hat. It feels like autumn, and it's freezing. It's July, but that's just the way it is in Britain. But I'm really pleased, because look at them. I'm going to lean out the way so you can see, but look at the colour and look at the clouds. Aren't they beautiful? There's going to be some lovely prints coming out of this. I've already taken 2 that I'm really happy with. Now it's just a case of waiting for a couple of hours just to see what happens to the sky. But when the sun drops below these clouds, if they're still there and there's a gap on the horizon, man, this is going to look great. We're going to photograph Graham's tree at that point, actually, and that's going to look really, really good. So I'm excited. It's a good night. We've earned this. I've been working really hard. The amount of sunsets and sunrises I've been to is haven't quite worked. So when they come along, they're really, really worth it. I really enjoy them. Look. Right, let's enjoy some of the Yorkshire scenery while we wait for the sun. So here we go. We've got about 10 minutes until sunset. And unfortunately, I think we're just going to be unlucky with the cloud. But I mean, the clouds, there's colour in the top here over Graham's tree, which looks amazing. I've just done a panoramic, I've just done a time lapse, which I'm going to show you in a second. It still could be good. It still could break. The clouds moving fairly quickly, and it's broken the high cloud. There's no high cloud there at all. It's just middle and low cloud, and that kind of tends to move quicker. So fingers crossed. But I think even if it isn't, if there's no more light, I mean, the actual clouds look amazing. Look, different textures, different toned in it. It's going to look really, really good. So the secret now is to make sure that we capture this. So I'm going to focus stack it. I've got a third of a second, f13, 64 ISO. I'm going to get the camera to focus stack it because it does a good job of it. So we're going to go number of shots, 5, which is going to be easily enough, and it will then do its thing. So I'll blend those together, and the light's gone. Look, what is it? It's changing all the time. It's changing so quickly. It's so difficult to predict what's going to happen. But whenever there's a gap in the clouds, there is definitely colour. If it happens, it's going to be very, very quick, and we're going to have to be ready. So it's just going to be a question of, if you don't see it, then you don't see it, but you'll see it on the picture. So I'm going to turn you off and concentrate on what I'm doing. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is sunset. We got some decent light actually, nothing earth-shattering, because at the last minute there's some low cloud over the sun. But we're used to that, aren't we? That's the way it goes. But I still think I've got a really nice picture, at least one, possibly more than that actually, of Graham's tree, and I'm still just really enjoying the quiet and the peace and just the beauty of Yorkshire. It's really lovely. I've had a great time out with Garry. Go and check out his YouTube channel. I'll leave his links and everything below, and I will see you next week. Who knows where I'll be? Maybe in Wales. We're going to Wales soon. I'll put that next week so you can watch that. Thanks for tuning in. Subscribe if you haven't done. If I get, by the way, if we get to 500 subscribers, I can start my own subscription kind of a bit of YouTube, and I'm thinking about uploading pictures which you can process, and then we can talk them through, but something like a £1 or £2 a month kind of thing. But let me know what you think about that. It's nice to earn a bit of money to pay for the channel, but you need to get value out of it as well. So it might well be that you get the videos earlier. It might well be that you get some of my raw files to play with and have some fun with, and we can talk online about them. But that's all to come. Garry and I have also talked about workshops, which is something I've been thinking about for a while. So exciting times. But thanks ever so much anyway for tuning in. From Graham's tree. See you next time. Goodbye.